Hi guys, my name is Means. This is going to be a review for Toynami's Super Deformed Voltron. And it says Ultimate. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it or Ultimatus. Anyways, this is basically the chibi version of the regular version. They do have the big one, and I think that one's diecast as well as this one superposable diecast figure, Lion Force. And Voltron is one of those super robots, or those combiner robots that I grew up watching, and it's very nostalgic for me. I was thinking of getting the big one, but I have more affinity towards Super Deformed, hence I got this one. It's not too bad, and you know what? I like them cute and deadly. Alright, so here's the box. It does say here, this is not a toy. It's for adult collectors. Yep. On the side here, pretty cool. He has that extra gimmick there, which we'll go over in a bit. On the back here, it says here we have 25 points of articulation. There's diecast and plastic parts, and it has a light up eye gimmick feature. Pretty cool. And showcase all the different faces, different poses. It can be serious or comical. Either way. Alright. I think this runs about, I believe right now, 80 bucks. It's around that price. But let's take a look inside. Alright, here's this illustration booklet. Always good to check it out first. Here inside, you get all the different parts. You also have a display base and light up gimmick. It tells you to put 2 LR44 button cell batteries, which is not included. I don't think it's included in the packaging. And there's a little switch there. And at first, I put on the batteries. Good thing I have a few lying around. It does not work. It turns out that the positive side should be on the bottom. I had it flipped over, and I ended up actually removing the screws of the head and seeing what's inside. In which, yeah, I was wondering, why it's not lighting up. I just had the batteries the other way. So it does work. And a few more things here, how to pose it, different face swapping, articulation, and there you go. Right, that's pretty much it for the booklet. Alright, we got Voltron here. He looks so adorable. The details are quite amazing. You get the metallic finish, and you get the different variety of the lions. Each one has, like this one's a little bit more curved. It's been a while since I watched Voltron, but what I recall, yeah, you get all these cool lions. Each one is a little different from the other, and you get the pretty much the leader's unit here. You get a giant head. Quite amazing. Alright, on the back here, there's quite a bit of the screws here, but they're on the back. Not going to be seen, but you kind of need that to support all that diecast. Yep, quite an amazing figure. Alright, let's quickly go over the articulation. You have you actually can pop this out. You get a giant neck ball joint there. Let's pop this back in. There we go. Quite a bit of movement here and there. Quite nice. I don't think you can move the horns here. You get the shoulder here. And you have a swivel here on the bicep, which allows you to bend the arm up 90 degrees. You can also move the wrist. There we go. Same thing with the other side. There's a little bit of a ratcheting on the elbow. Yep. On the back here, you have this fins here. You have a mid-torso movement. I don't think, yeah, you can't really move the waist. You have the hips here. Yeah, quite a variety. Really nice. Do a high kick or some kind of dance move. Yep, and the knee part, same thing, has a little ratchet It's quite nice. And the joints here are seem slightly stiff, which is great, especially the bottom part. Have him hold a certain pose well. And you also movable jaw for the hands, just to grab the sword later on in the shield. Pretty cool. And I think that's about it, other than the light up gimmick. So the light up gimmick, again, it's on the back here. It should turn on the eyes. The eyes are already yellow, but it does light up a little bit more. And let me just demonstrate that one. Alright, I shut off one of the lights. So I'm gonna see if I can turn on from this angle here. There we go. And you kind of see it a little bit. It's kind of an orange glow to it. But it does light up. Yep. Not sure if my battery is just weak. Yeah, but it's there. Yep. Yeah, not bad of a feature. But I guess I just need you know. Although I thought I'd put in a new fresher batteries. But I think I want to point out that it already has the yellow paint on top. Maybe the LED is not just bright enough. Maybe that's one of the case. Who knows? Right, let's go over the different faces. The first one is your normal, just doesn't have much emotion. Just a straight face. And we're just gonna pop this out. It's actually magnetized. So you kind of press on the chin first to get it out. Get that magnet over there. Get the eye gimmick. The next one is the smiling one. Let's see if I can adjust my camera. There we go. Smiling. Now the next part, just pop this out. You get the angry one right there. Ah! Yep, really nice. Alright, so while we're at it, we're just gonna go ahead and do the next pose. So the next pose is when he's getting his sword out of the two lion heads. And you're gonna get this effect part. Really nice. There's a little tab there which goes on top of the mouth. There we go. Just kind of helps it to hold it. And this one, if you can get this to open a little bit more. There we go. And that's a really cool gimmick. You see, getting the lights on again. But again, the problem is there's not much. You even barely see the lights. But yeah, there we go. Really cool. And next up, you get the actual sword here. Just turn off the light here. Open this up again. Remove this from the paws or the mouth. Alright, so you get this really nice Voltron sword. It's really nice. I like the detail in this one. Again, it goes on that mouth. Close it in. There we go. You can do a lot of cool poses with this. Although I kind of find that certain parts of it it's loose on the joint. Like you just gotta have a certain pose. But there we go. That's probably one of the cool poses there. And also, you have a shield. Now, I don't remember this from the show. Well, then again, it's been a long time, but you have this really nice, like spike cross shield. Really cool, and I wonder if you can actually throw this to like a boomerang. Alright, there we go. And he's ready. And on top of that, yes, doesn't end there. You have this one. So I'm not sure if this is probably comes out first after this one start to materialize his sword. Then you get this one. You see the handle there, but you know, either way, maybe this is probably the light up. Just cool to have that. And put this on. There we go. I'll probably just go with this one. Alright, and last but not least, let's look at the base. Alright, we got the base here, and then you got several or 6 peg holes that you want to put this one on, but for the most part, just have it on the back. It says here, Voltron, Defender of the Universe. It's iconic slogan. And we got several points here, and I think on the instruction, or I recall, if you want him standing, this just mounts on the back here. Oh, so we may have to flip this around. There we go. Like this, and he'll be standing once we mount this on here in the back. There we go. There we go. He looks amazing. Really nice. Otherwise, we'll just take this out, and we're gonna flip this base around here. Then you have the more dynamic or flying post, which I believe is over here and under his, or just in the back of his waist. And there we go. Now he can fly. And I really like how they did this foot here. You can turn around the face of the tiger, or not tiger, the lion. And just have a wider stance. Yep. It's really nice. And there we go. That's pretty much it. And if you're wondering how to put in the batteries, there's a compartment here. You just pop this out. Might be a little hard the first time, but there we go. Pop this out. I put paper on mine because once you put it on without anything to pull it out, it's going to be hard. I've used paper clip and you might end up scraping, which I kind of did inside. So I highly recommend stick a paper there, or a piece of post-it, and this way you can just pop it out. And again, the batteries, the positive is on the bottom side. I had mine this way. It does not work. So positive, the bottom side. And there we go. Just a little spring there. I'll probably keep mine without the batteries on, since I'm just gonna have it on display. And I highly recommend to do that too. If you have a figure, just gonna have it on display. Remove the batteries. You don't want them, or you don't want to leave that there. Sometimes they end up corroding themselves. Get the battery acids out, and not good. Not good for the figure. Right, and that's how to change out the batteries, or add new ones. And that pretty much wraps up the review for Toynami Super Deformed Voltron. I have to say it's an amazing figure. Comes with a variety of accessories. Yep, and even cool effect parts. Even the light up LED eye gimmick. That's amazing. And just overall, you're getting a die-cast posable figure. It's an amazing figure. There are a few things that I want to point out, or I have pointed out in the review, that kind of wish it could have been improved. The shoulder joint seems like it's drooping down sometimes. It's the one on the torso, connected on the torso, not so much for the one on the shoulder already. I'm not sure, maybe just the way that it's designed, or maybe the die-cast is heavy, but well, either way, you can have in a certain pose and it will work. Otherwise, the LED eye gimmick could have been brighter. And what else do we have here? I think that's pretty much it. There's only a few things, or also the price. Now this is quite hefty for some. We're looking around 80 bucks. Now that 80 bucks could go higher or lower, depending on demand. But if you can get this for a good price, I highly recommend getting it. That's pretty much it for the review. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, that's about it. Alright, so until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.